10 out of 10.
Okay.
10 copies out of 10, okay?
How many do I have? Room for? One. Yeah. 4 o'clock, yes, please. When I need to make calls. I have to let
My name is Nora Galoustian. I was 12 years old, 13 when I was diagnosed with cancer.
My name is Nora Galoustian, and I am Nora's mom.
It was stage 4 osteoblastoma / stage 1 of osteosarcoma.
I think we just brought in like the last waters.
Okay, perfect. Stage 4 osteoblastoma. There's a possibility of it's on its last leg of starting to metastasize. So that's when it turns. This type of a tumor, it goes through stages and then it turns into a malignant, meaning cancerous tumor.
Well, as a kid, I was very energetic and active. So since the age of 4 or 5, I was put into a soccer team outside of school, and it was an all-boys soccer team. Other than that, I did a lot of acting. You know, I did a bunch of plays. I was really into theater. And then I've always been connected to music, so I'd always try to teach myself songs. But basically, if you told me you can't do this, I would try and do it as a kid. So no matter what sport, or maybe if it was a song or whatever it was, if somebody said you're not good at it, I would keep working until I was good at it, no matter what it was.
Yeah, Nora was an extremely active kid. Sometimes it was just too much, and we had to, say, okay, Nora, just pick one thing. You can't do it all. Just pick one thing. And she was in soccer. She played soccer with the boys, and she preferred playing soccer with the boys because she just had that challenge, and it was great. And the guys would treat her as like one of the buddies.
It was beginning of 6th grade. Like I said, I was into everything, all the sports. So I kind of had a sore neck and a sore shoulder, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I spiked the volleyball wrong, or maybe I just slept on it wrong. That's how it felt, like something normal. And I was saying, okay, I'm not going to complain about it, and I'm going to wait, and then it'll probably go away. So it wouldn't go away. So I was like, okay, maybe something's wrong here. I complained a little to my parents. They said, okay, stop complaining, toughen up. It's fine, you probably just pulled a muscle, playing sports or something. So after a few months, it was on and off until one of my friends, I hadn't seen them in a while, they came and they grabbed me like this, and then it hurt really, really bad. I started crying.
You would never see her cry because she didn't want to be weak in front of the guys, and so therefore she always she never cried. And at one point she was having a really hard time with her neck, and it was just hurting her, the back of her shoulder, right by her shoulder blades. And at first we thought maybe it's a ergo change, so maybe we need to put her computer in an ergonomic way. So we bought her a desk with a tray.
And he said, well, my pediatrician said it's from video games. He's like, no, you're young. If you pulled a muscle or anything, the pain should be gone by 6 months. If it's not gone by now, something's wrong.
I went by myself, and he said, we think it's called a neurofibroma. And I said, okay, so it's a fiber. He said, no, it's a tumor. I said, so, well, you're telling me it's like a fatty tissue. He's like, nope, it's a tumor. So I had to take it in and say, a tumor? Where do I go from here?
I couldn't believe it. And I refused to believe it. I was kind of in denial mode. I was like, no, I'm strong, I'm an athlete, I'm normal. And then when they told me that, I kind of just was in denial mode for a little bit. I kept doing research on it, trying to figure out more about tumors, see maybe which one fit with my symptoms the most.
So I sat her down and I went up to her room and I said, hey, Nora, do you know, we might have to go to see a pediatric neurologist. And her face just lit up like with happiness. She goes, oh my God, that's like my dream job. I'm like, no. We don't know what's wrong with your neck. We don't know exactly what you have. And she's like, I know it's a tumor. She then like turned around to me and said, if it's a tumor, am I gonna die? And I looked at her and I said, you know what, Nora, it's written on my forehead that you're gonna annoy the heck out of me until I die. So no, I don't have those types of lucks. You're not dying.
Like right before the surgery, we still didn't know. And the neurosurgeon came, sat down, he said, listen, so we're either gonna remove part of your entire spine and you're not gonna be able to move your neck, or your movement in your arm might go away. They were telling me these different things. If it's a nerve tumor, we don't even know what type of tumor it is or where it is exactly. We just know it's in this area. So it might be a nerve. If we have to remove the nerve, you might lose movement in your arm that's been shaking. So they're kind of telling me these different possibilities, and it was like just opposite ends of the scale.
I want things done. I want it done now. I should have had it done yesterday. That's how I'm feeling.
Wow, good job, Dottie.
Yeah, I'm just a normal kid in a not so normal situation, as I've said multiple times. As a hospital patient, I saw a lot of things. I mean, there's a little girl who lived in the room across from me, and she passed away. So there's a lot of different situations where the kids were not as lucky or fortunate as I was, and they weren't gonna live. So as I left, I swore to myself as I left the hospital that I would do everything in my power to try and make a difference in every cancer patient's life and to make them happy for the sake of those children I had the honor of meeting, before they passed away or before they were told you're gonna pass away. So I kind of was really determined to do something. I really want to start this club. And what do you guys think? And they say, yeah, that sounds good. We'll do it. So I kept talking to people, trying to get them in. I made a petition and I wrote a nice statement and I turned it into the vice principal.
Oh yes, at the beginning, actually last summer, she came back and said, I want to do something, and I want to educate people out there, my friends and younger people and older people and all the students, even parents. And I said, that's a fantastic idea, We always encourage students to take leadership and go out and do whatever they can. And this was one of the clubs that, because of her, because she talks so passionately about her cause, what she wants to do, that's where she takes the attention of the students. We do have students with different clubs coming, initiatives of, organizing club, but I think because she has experienced that herself, being in the hospital for a while, seeing other patients in the same situation as hers, she can talk about it in a way that you feel like it's very genuine.
And with her support, we started off the club. We did a bunch of fundraisers, and ever since we've been trying to help as much as we can. It was the Art for Life event. So
I think it's going to be a spectacular event. There's going to be a bunch of artists from all over. We have some artwork flying in from Texas. We have artwork that's going to be done there live. There's going to be different types of art varying completely. And all of us are coming together on this night to make a difference in a child's life. And I find that amazing. I think that's the whole point of this event, where we're all coming together and we're going to unite and make a difference because it's our duty as humans to stand up for each other.
The club, and then cancer awareness, and then what is it? Why is the yellow ribbon? So this is about the yellow ribbon, and what is it? The reason all of you guys are wearing black today is because today we are mourning of all the kids that we have lost. But the reason you're also wearing yellow is the hope that we all have for the kids so we don't lose in the future due to cancer. And that's the reason why we are where we are today. I want you guys to keep that in mind.
As a hospital patient, I saw many things that changed my mentality completely. There was a 2-year-old girl and she lived in the room across from mine. We had this one day where at a certain time where they would take all the cancer pediatric patients out for a walk just down the hallway and back so we get our daily exercise. So the little girl was next to me and she was trying to learn how to walk. She had to have an IV pole with her, and unfortunately she tripped on the IV and she fell down. She had to go back to her room and the nurses rushed to her aid, and I didn't see her again. The next night, she was moved to the ICU, and her parents were not leaving her side. I could hear her crying echoing through the hallways. And the doctor took her parents out of the room and said she was no longer responding to treatment and that there was nothing they could do. At that moment, my heart sank, and I've never felt so terrible in my entire life. Absolutely nothing has the right to take away someone's life before they've had the chance to even live it. And cancer is not an exception, and it will never be again. Who knows what that girl could have become? She could have found the cure to cancer itself. She could have become a very successful politician. She could have become a beautiful dancer. And now we'll never know because she didn't get the chance to live and prove herself. A few days later, I was leaving the hospital, and they have a lobby where you sign in and sign out of surgery in specific. So I was getting signed out. My parents went to the lobby, and I was sitting down, and I had a wagon full of balloons and stuffed animals from all my supportive friends who came to visit me. And a girl about 9 years old came with her mother, and they were walking in. And I could tell the girl was very sick. She was very pale, and she looked very fragile. And the mom looked extremely stressed out. But as they were passing by, the girl said, "Mommy, I want one, I want one." And she was pointing at the balloons next to me. So I took the wagon, and I went up to her, and I said, "Which one do you want?" She was shy at first, and she hid behind her mom, but she pointed at the one with the smiley face on it. So I gave it to her, and I gave a stuffed animal too while I was at it. And the look on her face was priceless. You could see the life going back into her eyes. Her eyes were glimmering with happiness. And it felt good to know that such a small act can make such a big difference in somebody. The mom was tearing up just by looking at her daughter, and she took my hand and she said, "Thank you. I haven't seen her this happy in a long time, ever since she was diagnosed." As I left the hospital, I swore to myself that I would do everything in my power to try and make a difference for the sake of that 2-year-old girl who unfortunately isn't here today. For the sake of that girl that I made happy by just giving a balloon. For the sake of all the cancer patients that ever have been and ever will be and are right now. It's time for all of us to come together, put aside our personal dilemmas and our personal problems, and to unite to make a difference. Because honestly, what the world revolves around is happiness. And the only way to have happiness is to stand up for each other. Some people can't stand up on their own, and one of those people are cancer patients. So us, when we're perfectly healthy and we're very strong, we could help them up and we could support them.
How do you feel about about raising $6,700.
I feel great, and this journey has been inspirational.
I feel really excited, and I'm happy that we got to do this, and I can't wait till next year.
Well, I feel amazing, and I can't wait to see the smile on the children's faces.
I feel great. It's a great journey, and it's wonderful to help children, and it's a really important cause.
Well, I feel wonderful, and I'm very happy that we were able to do this.